A warm welcome and a heartfelt namaste to all of you out there. Today we are talking on an important burning topic, the transit of Rahu into Gemini. Rahu is an Aries planet and it moves into an Aries sign. Thereby, its propensity increases a lot. In fact, Gemini is said to be its house of exaltation. So it should give a good results. Moreover, Gemini is the first Upacha house of the natural zodiac, and the malefics like Mars, Saturn, Rahu and Ketu do good in the Upacha houses. All in all, Rahu should give good results. For Ketu, we'll look out for the second video in the same series. Now, Rahu is moving into the last pada of the sign of Gemini, which is a male sign. The last pada of any male sign, or rather the last 6 degrees of a male sign, is known as the Mrityu Bhaga Avastha. In that, planets generally are not supposed to give good results. However, or rather planets are not supposed to give results. However, when this pada of third pada of Punarvasu is concerned, it gives results very well, because that pada is the Vargotam pada of the male sign of the zodiac. So this is the Vargotam pada of Gemini, and so any planet moving into it will give a good results, or will give results according to its placement, according to the Lagna concerned. Rahu in particular will give a good result because it moves into its own house, its exalted territory, into an Aries sign, and with so many factors pro Rahu, it definitely would give a good result. Now we move on to how Rahu would react for every Lagna. But before that, let us take a look at the characteristics of Rahu and an underlying principle that works for Gemini. Rahu transits into Punarvasu pada 3. Rahu is not planet with a physical entity. Yes, Rahu and Ketu are said to be points, mathematical points in the zodiac, and they do not have a physical entity. However, that does not stop or lower their importance in the planetary system. They're known as one of the 2 karmic controlled planets, and Rahu has a deep control over our karmic pattern. Rahu, along with the trines that it is placed in our natal chart, operates through these 3 houses and distributes our karma, gives us our karmic retribution. And Rahu is the place that we're supposed to focus our attention, divert our attention to in this lifetime, because this is the area which needs working for the soul. This is an area where the soul needs to learn how to handle, how to work things out, and work towards such person, towards that area and zone. So the place Rahu sits in our natal chart is the area where it diverts our attention, or it implores us to focus our attention. And in this is the lifetime, it is the place that we need to work on. Ketu is that area of focus in life we have already worked on in the past, and so it can be left for the life in this lifetime to take a natural course. We all are creatures of habit. So it is often seen that we unconsciously drift towards Ketu. We work on those houses which we have already worked in the past, have gathered a strength on. So unconsciously we do not make an effort to work on the areas of Rahu. So Rahu in its journey, in a transit, becomes very strong when it asks us to work towards dispensing of the karma that Rahu is involved in, the house that Rahu is involved in. In transit, whenever Rahu advents, that is the house where we would be asked, called upon to focus all our energy, and that is the house where we are required to pay our debts. It is seen that for those 1.5 years that Rahu transits a particular sign or in a house, For us, that is the area which is highly activated in our lives, and we are drawn towards the activities of that house or those people. So if Rahu would be transiting your 12th house for the Cancer Lagna, you might be called upon to work on your personal relationships. You might be called upon to give charities. You might be called upon to be benevolent in your social behavior. These are the few things you might be called upon to look into. As Rahu transits into the sign of Gemini, moving to the third pada of Punarvasu Nakshatra and the last part of the Gemini sign, it is to be seen that the third house of the natural zodiac gets activated. Generally, in the male sign, the last 6 degrees are the Mrityu Avasthas, as I have already told you earlier. And so, planets in this zone do not give the results to the full capacity. In fact, they just give 0 to 25% of the results, if any. However, this being the Vargottama Pada of the Gemini sign, planets posited in this Pada get highly activated, and so they give results as per their representations, karakas. Now, when we are talking about the sign Gemini, the third house of the natural zodiac, that is related to communication. It can be in form of phones, it can be in form of mails, it can be letters, it can be wireless, and definitely the internet. Any form of communication goes with Gemini. It also relates to the courage one has and one shows in the times of need, adversity, the patterns of our subconscious mind and our siblings. An underlying principle related to all these things would come into focus in our lives for the next 1.5 years. And in addition to that, depending on the Lagna of the person concerned, Rahu would then show its abilities as per the Lagna and the position in the sign of Gemini it holds. So we move on to the Aries sign. For the Aries Lagna, Rahu transits the third house. This is a time when communication is at its all-time high and most likely to show results. It is also the time when your travels will be on the increase. You're likely to get out-of-box ideas which will help you establish an identity of your own. It is also the time when your short-term travel, especially air travel, would see a great deal of increase. As Rahu is in the house of communication and oratorship, you're likely to showcase your skills as an orator, and you would also have a spontaneous acts, you would be doing spontaneous acts of courage. While you can, please do practice pranayam, because that will help you streamline your thoughts. There would be a lot of pulsating nervous energy in your life working because of the air factor of Rahu. There's a double air factor working for everybody. That is Rahu being an air planet, airy planet, and Gemini being an airy sign. So if you can work on pranayam, that will give you a lot of solidity of your thoughts. It will streamline those thoughts which are bound to get scattered. As we move on to for Taurus Lagna, we see that Rahu transits into the second house for them. The second house represents family, wealth, and education. Rahu being the karaka of different. Rahu is always out of box, so it gives one an opportunity to accumulate wealth through different and unusual means. It is also an opportunity for one to delve in learning a new subject. The Rahu transits for a period of 60 days in this pada of Punarvasu third pada. So this is a period when you can wield a good time and you can convert this unique ability of yours into a wealth generating factor. It is also a time when you could get into some issues with people as regards your career. Please pay special attention to the factor and all will be well. Well, this is all about Rahu and how it would give results. We are yet not discussed what Ketu has to say, so we look out for it in another video. For the Gemini Lagna, this is the time Rahu transits the Lagna. The transit of Rahu on the Lagna brings in a lot of change in life. As it transits the sign of Gemini, Rahu gets the mental facility you are looking for. It also brings in a lot of nervous energy for you. As you see the transformation in you taking place, as regards yourself, your creativity, your personal life, it could be with your also with your luck. A lot of things are going to change in the next 60 days. However, Rahu is very comfortable in this sign, and it is also the sign of exaltation. So whatever discomfort you might feel in the first 60 days, rest assured that they are for your good, and you will find a great, whatever the turmoil that you are facing now will be for the best of you and will yield good results if you are able to bring in structure to your thoughts and you can convert them into positive actions. For the Cancer Lagna, it is time when Rahu transits in your 12th house. 12th house is the house of international travels, name and charity. While Rahu transits the Aries sign in the 12th house, it is likely that you will have many air travels. As Rahu travels the 12th house of charity for you, it is making you charitable in thought and deed. And it is time for you to reflect, take action about charities too. It is time when you are likely to be besieged with dreams and you might come across absurd dreams. However, you would do well to remember these dreams as they hold a lot of clues for you. It is also a time when you would be required to let go of certain things in your life which may have passed their expiry dates, because as I have said that in a previous video of mine, which is how malefic are these malefics. So Rahu and Ketu. So if you would go there, see Rahu when it moves into this Aries sign of Gemini is definitely asking us not to hold on to things, to let them go. And moreover in the 12th house, just let them be. For the Leo Lagna, Rahu transits your 11th house. 11th house is the house of gains and lots of privileges. It denotes the achievements one makes. It is likely that the advent of Rahu in Gemini might bring in some gains, a recognition for you. There is a possibility you're being rewarded for some achievement or an increment coming your way. As this is the house of spouse and family, this Rahu transit brings into focus these two factors into your life. It is likely that past issues about spouse and child may come up for you, and it is your turn now to resolve these issues in the next 1.5 years. Rahu in this house shows your ability to handle finance and bring in more finances your way. This is also the house of discoveries and research for the Leo Lagna, and it is likely for scientists to make new revolutionary discoveries in the world of communication in this transit of Rahu. Let us not forget that this is also the 3rd house of the subconscious mind, and again an Aries sign. So discoveries should be a galore during this time of transit of Rahu in Gemini. When Rahu is transiting in Gemini for the Virgo Lagna, this is the 10th house. It is the transit for the highest into the highest Kendra, and this 3rd house is also of the natural zodiac, the 10th house for Virgo Lagna. So this also is an epate house for Virgo Lagna. It is the time when you have the ability to give your career a great push, as this transit of Rahu brings in the karma related to your profession to the fore. You are likely to find yourself in a zone of work, and a change in the scenario is likely. For those looking for new opportunities of work, you should look at the social media. You could look into a lot of advertisements. You could look into, take the help of the social media to find support and guidance. It is a time when your work is likely to speak for itself and bring you a great sense of joy and also accomplishments. There might be some communication glitches coming your way, and you might have some boss problem, but you will definitely be able to overcome them with tact or diplomacy. When we talk about Rahu in Punarvasu Pada 3 in Gemini for the Lagna of Libra, it moves into the 9th house. And this brings in a great amount of change in the structured thought process about religion, about traditional ritualistic ideas, attitudes in the person concerned. It takes you towards seeing and observing things from a different angle. It also guides you to fulfill your karma towards your elders and towards your guru. There may be instances when your thoughts may not be as that similar with those people, and you may feel that you're being boggled down by their principles, by their thought process. But this is an area where you would have to work on. It is also the house of higher learning, and it is a time and a right moment for you to start a higher learning. Students wanting to travel abroad for higher education will be able to do so with a great deal of ease. As for the Scorpio Lagna, Rahu transits your 8th house. It heralds in a number of changes in your life. The 8th house, we know, is spontaneous changes, and there cannot be anything as spontaneous in the 9 planets as Rahu. So Rahu brings in a lot of spontaneous changes, and it is also the house of sudden litigations, sudden gains, sudden legacies that one can get. So it is an opportunate time for you to gain from such things. It is also the time when you would have to actively let go of things that you see are slipping away from life. Please let them go, because Rahu will make sure that they leave you one way or the other. So it's best that you decide on their letting go. This house is also related to diseases and illness, so it's high time that you took your health seriously and your well-being very importantly. For the Sagittarius Lagna, Rahu transits the 7th house. With this transit, Rahu has the task to teach one the pending karma in association with the outside world, no matter what the inside has to offer, with the Ketu working on the ascendant. That, as I said earlier, will be covered in a different video. The 7th house relates to our partners and our interaction with people in general. This is the time when your communication skills with your partners will be tested and will be put to use. It is your ability and flexibility of mind that needs to be examined and weighed. Situations beyond your control need to be let go of, and those in the present need to be nurtured and enjoyed, and ultimately they too to be allowed to rest in peace and live. As an air element, Rahu provides reprieve through conscious breathing and pranayam. I would suggest that as a generic remedy for all Lagnas, because Rahu, as I have been repeatedly saying, has been transiting, will be transiting an Aries sign. Being an Aries planet, it will give us abundance of thought. Our thoughts are going to multiply in enormous proportions. So we really do need to have a strong control over them, and pranayam, or the conscious method of breathing, is the only way to do so. For the Capricorn Lagna, it is a time when Rahu transits the 6th from your Lagna. It is a great time for you, as Rahu is said to do great when it is posited in the 6th house. It would give you victory over your enemies, and it would see you rise up in life. It is also the time when you will be acknowledged for your efforts in your service. A fact that Rahu would like to teach all of us when it moves into the 6th house is that of selfless service. It moves into an Upachaya house and a good house of its own. So Rahu malefics in 3, 6, 10, 11 are said to be very good. Transit of this Rahu into the 6th house, which it calls its own, is definitely good for the Capricorn Lagna, but it has a lot to teach us, and one of them is selfless service. So it is a time when, amidst all the accolades that you are collecting, you should spare some time for the people who have less than you, extend your help to them, and consequently, that would improve your value in the eyes of many. But you're not doing it just to improve your value. It would strengthen you as a person, would bring about joy within you, and you'd give you a sense of purpose which is beyond the mundane. An extending hand of help is always helped by those who hold it in many mysterious ways. But we are not doing it for help, just help because you should and you can. For the Aquarius Lagna, Rahu transits into the 5th house, and this 5th house relates to children, spiritual practices, elders, and intelligence. This is the time when you may find it difficult to hand your children. Your children may become a little too boisterous, may become a little too stubborn for you to handle, and they might seem very unruly. It is a passing phase and needs to be dealt as such. You need to come to a common ground where you can understand their issues and try to solve them out. You need to delve deeper into occult as it helps you in this area. As this is also the house of celebrityhood and receiving acknowledgement from all around, you are likely to be praised by society. However, you need to be aware that many bad associations can be formed, and that can get you a lot of wrong kind of publicity. So you need to maintain distances at places and not see everything as gloss. Some of them can also be dross. Rahu, when moves to Pisces, transits into your 4th house. 4th house denotes home and security. So this time could be seeing you moving away from home for a long period of time on account of some work, or it can see you shifting homes. It can see you having a great deal of, taxing on your comfort levels as far as home is concerned, because we are all comfortable in our homes, be it a prince or a pauper. It is also the time when you may feel a little overwhelmed by your duties towards the home front. You are required to work on these areas as per the transit. You would be called upon to take good care of your mother, and please do so. Doing service to the old and the dying is a good way to redeem this transit of Rahu in your 4th house. For the students, using the virtual media as a means of instruction will be on the rise for a good cause. The good days of the week are Monday, that is 25th February, Tuesday, that is 26th February, Wednesday, which is 27th February, and finally Sunday, which is 3rd of March. So we will be meeting again with another video on Ketu transit, hopefully next week. Till we meet again, have a safe week, and if you've liked this video, do share it, do subscribe to the channel. Till then, good day.